live.
Yo, what's good, everybody? I found a countdown. I felt pretty good about that. It's just not as dope as it's going to be. We got to get a beat or something from Marcus. You know, fans from Quits Made It out here making lofi albums and whatnot. Let me see if I can. It should be going live from my page.
Yes, live. I see it live on yours.
All right, bet. I'm gonna keep Facebook open though because I think I can share screen. Because I did see the pressure's on tonight because I in the group page, I got a poll that's supposed to come up on at I think 8:30, so people can start voting on like who's got the best top 5.
Okay.
So
might as well write me in right now.
You a lie. You a lie. The devil is a lie. So
I got a caveat already.
Oh my god!
I got a caveat already.
Bro, it's like every week with you, bro.
Nah, bro. Because originally you said R&B vocalists. You said top 5 most influential Black female R&B artists.
I did.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
That's something else we got to talk about because I don't understand how that's not the same thing. I don't get it.
Every female vocalist isn't singing R&B. Like R&B is a specific group, a specific genre of music.
So what did you do? Is the better question.
I did R&B artists.
Okay, so you good.
It still should work. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
I think it'd be fine. Let's go.
Please explain to me how it's not the same thing because that's what I'm lost on.
Because Lauryn Hill is a vocalist, but she's not an R&B artist. She's a hip hop artist.
How is she not an R&B artist?
Because she hip hop.
She's a hip hop artist.
No,
she started out in the
she's
park.
R&B.
Now
she's
every
both.
day she's trying to start.
You just said the key. She's both.
She's both.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So how you gonna say?
No, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is a hip hop album. It's not.
No,
it's not. It's got an R&B song on it, but it doesn't. I don't think
it's R&B song,
bruh.
Yeah,
more than one.
Zion is an R&B song.
It's got more than one R&B song on it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand the disrespect.
Nothing Even Matters is an R&B song.
Yes.
Nothing Even Matters. Yeah, that's the one.
What's the other one?
No, Zion is
a ballad. That's not R&B. That's a ballad.
Wait, let's argue about that later. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Let's argue about that later.
I'm already.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to our 4th episode of Top 5 Live. You know, my name is Morgan Iverson. My boy Javon Stokes is over there on the right. You can see the name, and then my boy Danny J. Quick at the bottom. Tonight should be interesting, very, very interesting. So the top 5 that we're doing tonight, and I hope y'all been working on them. We also, if you haven't joined the group page, make sure you join the group page on Facebook, Top 5 Live Nation, and make sure you join the fan page because we got a poll up tonight, and we need everybody to vote on who's got the best top 5 tonight. We're gonna start doing that every show now. The top 5 that we're doing tonight, and I'm gonna let Javon say it because for some reason think I'm saying it wrong or something. I don't get it. But regardless, Javon, what is the top 5 that we're doing tonight?
Top 5 is the top 5 most influential Black vocalists from the last 30 years, meaning 1990. Time out. That's what you said. I said R&B, and then you said Black vocalist. So I said okay,
but it's the same thing, is what I'm saying.
It's not. But let's argue about it.
Whatever. Yeah, we'll get into in the chat again because I didn't see that part. But we'll get it. My list is cool either way. I don't care.
All right, so all right, that's the top
You got
five.
Fantasia on your list, man. I'm leaving. I'm just gonna get up.
I'm very concerned. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm very, very concerned. But anyway, that is our top five for tonight. So if you haven't already made your list, make your list now. Go to the group page or the fan page. I put a little collage up there to give you some ideas to kind of run your brain over some people that possibly could be in that top five. So that's the top five for tonight. The top five topics that we're talking about are: number one, we're going to be covering Simone Biles. We're definitely getting into that because I got some people to yell at. Colorism with Will Smith and the Will Smith movie King Richard. People were really going in early about this, like when it first got announced. But a lot of people, there was half of them that was bad hype about the trailer saying they're gonna watch it. Then half of them was mad, like, so I guess they couldn't have found nobody else to play Will Smith. So getting into it because he's not a dark-skinned black man. So I guess he needs to be. That's the second topic. The third topic, Kevin Samuels. Javon wanted this one, so I'm gonna let him lead that because I don't know exactly where he wants to go on it, but I'm always here for it. The fourth topic, and we probably gonna argue about this for a while, is the T'Challa recasting. Me and Javon have gotten into this before. We'll probably rehash that tonight. The fifth one is Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher talking about that they only wash their kids when they saw dirt on them. And they only wash, I guess, when they feel like it. I don't know. I'm confused. What up, Aaron? So those are our top five topics. Now, y'all decide which one y'all want us to go to first.
I feel like you got to get that Simone Biles off your chest. So why don't you do you? I don't really have much to say on the Simone Biles other than this. This is what I'm going to say on Simone Biles.
Okay.
I think when people reach a certain level of success, it invites people to start tearing them down. And they'll find whatever they can to tear them down. And so that's what they're doing with Simone Biles right now. What Simone Biles did isn't really that big a deal. Like, in my opinion, it's not that big a deal. Like, if she didn't feel like she could perform to her to her optimum level, her taking herself out for the betterment of the team is a good thing. So I don't see, I mean, people are going to complain, but people are going to want to tear down. It happens with every great anything, artist, singer, writer, whatever. You're going to reach a point where you're so great that people are going to feel the need to tear you down. And like every time you hear somebody say, if it was me, well, no, it ain't you. You ain't never going to be that good at what that she is. She never going to be that good. So, Exactly. But you go on and do your thing, man. Go on and get your rant on.
No, I'll let Danny. If Danny's got something, I want him to be able to get it off too.
Nah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I think people until y'all start treating Kawhi Leonard and folks like that the same way, they be taking games off. Not if you don't feel like you're gonna give your best performance, sit down. Everybody ain't Kobe and Jordan. Everybody ain't them. Right, and you can be the greatest and still need to, especially if you 20. How old is she? 24 years old.
Yes, 24 years old.
Like I couldn't imagine having that type of pressure at 24, bruh. I'd be done shot somebody. I'm not. No, yeah. Take a day off. Take a break. And then I think I saw she got bronze last night, right? So
yeah, this morning.
People bugging, bro.
Yeah. So all right. So I will not reveal who it is that came to me about this. But so there, one angle of it is that I had a friend come to me that felt like she was getting not shaded. She was getting protected a little bit because she's a woman dealing with this versus it being like a man. Like we would be like if it was a man in the same situation, they'd be going at that guy harder, calling him soft or whatever else. And I really disagreed with that because look, let's be honest. I think Jalen Rose said this on the Breakfast Club the other day. The majority of the people that are having this issue calling her unpatriotic, call her a sociopath. Some guy called her a sociopath or psychopath or something. All these other names are mostly most of the people that are 100% on one political side, I'll be nice and say that. In her getting preferential treatment, I don't think is true whatsoever. Because number one, we just had examples of this in the NBA. Kevin Love did it. Paul George did it. DeMar DeRozan talked about it. Those are three players off the top of my head that I know mental health has been front and center for them. PG in the Dome talked about it. It was out there. Kevin Love got an award for it, for him talking about it. DeMar DeRozan had the same thing. The other thing that I'm trying to come at from a logical standpoint is these people, Simone Biles, she has the GOAT on her uniform, and nobody disagrees with it, especially people that are, Ruckus, we were talking about Simone. She has the GOAT on her, but most people agree with it, especially people that are gymnasts and have that background. Like they call them twisties. They call it the twisties. When Simone was explaining what's happening to her, for anybody that's seen her perform, for you to be up in the air, spinning that fast and going all kinds of directions or whatever, but she explained when you get up there and you have the twisties, you have no idea, like you lose up from down, left to right, you lose that in the air, which could be really dangerous because if you don't know where you're coming down, what you're going to come down on, you could literally break a neck or get some other type of injury. So the reason that she took herself out, like Javon pointed to earlier, was because number one, she knew she couldn't get her head together. Number two, because she couldn't get her head together, number one, I can harm myself. Number two, I can harm my team. And my team worked their behinds off to get to this stage and to be able to have this moment. And instead of me messing up things for my team and messing up this moment, I'm going to step out until I can get my head together and contribute to this team like a true leader would do, like a true GOAT would do. Right. The other side of the argument is we've never seen a GOAT do this, right? So the other side of the argument is like, we've never seen a GOAT do this. Can you imagine if Tom Brady got to the Super Bowl and then said, hey, coach, I can't go out there because my head ain't together or whatever? We would clown him.
Jordan do it though? Didn't Jordan retire that year because his dad
you're
died?
retired for gambling, dude.
Okay. So in this conversation, Jordan was brought up. But the difference to them was they said, no, it's not a game 7, it's not a blah 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 blah. I said, all right, bet. Cool. Go ahead.
I'll say this. I think. Sorry, I just saw something. Whatever.
Go ahead.
I think the reason why we're seeing a shift in the next generation of athletes looking at things from a different perspective. Guys like Jordan, Tom Brady, they're older dudes, man. They're older generation. Their generation is, if you're not dead, go out there. And, no matter what, go out there. But the generation that we're in now is very much like, look, if my head's not in it, I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And which is why you see a lot of the newer players like, if I can't do it, I can't do it. I'm a human being. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the old guard is like, you got to drag me off the court or off the field.
Correct.
But the newer guard is like, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, Kawhi Leonard is like, look, man, I need a break.
Another example.
I'm going to take a break. So, you can't really compare what Jordan and guys like that are. You can't compare them to her because it's a different world, man. It's a different era.
They weren't dealing with social media either. Like they had pressure. Those dudes had, I won't take anything away from them. They had the media. They were under a bunch more scrutiny than the generations before them, but they didn't have this social media. Everybody's a journalist. And it's a good thing about social media is that we're able to evolve faster. We can hear more sides of the story. Right. Mm-hmm. So, as soon as she announced that she was pulling out, people were like, okay, your mental health. Cool. We got all different spectrums, different sides of the story, all different perspectives, but she's hearing all of this the same way. I think, athletes, even 10, 20, 15 years ago were a little more protected from as many voices getting to them. Because now you got TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and And that's on top of the actual journalists that are there asking the questions over and over again. We saw Naomi Osaka deal with the same thing. So
we just kind of need to stop giving these dudes airspace and energy, man.
Agreed.
I wasn't really like down. I didn't really care to talk about Simone Biles because I'm tired of giving these dudes, and I'm tired of giving stupid people energy. Like stupid people say stupid things, and I'm gonna come out and say the same thing. Like what you said was not you, but you know, if somebody comes out and is like, "Oh, she quit" or whatever, I'm like, "Hey, man, you're stupid." Like, you know what your opinion is dumb. Like,
that's part of the balance to this show, because you guys are a lot more even keel on some things than I'm willing to be. And on this situation, there's so many different things going on in this situation that need to be smacked down and addressed that I felt like I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? One, because Simone out there doing her thing and representing this country and representing black women and representing women, period, and representing, she's carrying a lot as it is, representing rape victims, you know what I'm saying? She's representing all of that at the same time, and people are overlooking all of that to make sure that they say she quit when it's dumb to say any GOAT quit. That's another point that I want to make. So the logical side of this says, right, a logical, normal person, Tom Brady has 6 championships now, right? So if Tom Brady this season, 7? No, it's 6. 7? Well, all right, so let me go from the back then.
You put some respect on that man.
Tom Brady before this season had 6 championships. A lot of people already considered him the GOAT before he even got to this Super Bowl, right? If Tom Brady gets to the game and comes out after halftime and says, "Coach, I got to take myself out, man. My head's not right and I don't want to hurt the team. I'm going to bow out until I can get my head together. I'm going to try really hard. I got to get my head together, whatever." If he said that and it got reported, and you as a person that came into this game knowing Tom Brady is the GOAT said, if you're on this side that said, "Man, that's weak. You can't quit on your team," blah, 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 blah. If that's your mindset, you're not a logical thinking person, because he's already won 6 championships. If you think he's not tough, you're stupid. Why did you make him the GOAT in the first place?
It's also different sports though, right? Because
I agree.
Simone Biles has a lot of pressure on her, but at the same time, she has the luxury of being able to go, "I'm going to back down so that the rest of the team can shine." Whereas like Tom Brady is the quarterback of the team. Like it's different. It's different.
It's different. But what I'm saying
is why you can't really you can't put them together. Oh my God. Sorry. Y'all putting these lists on the thing. Y'all killing me right now, man.
Listen, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it real quick is I see it too. But
Sorry,
so
man.
I think them misjudging her is also one of the reasons too, because they were not scoring her properly, so that other athletes wouldn't try what she tries and hurt themselves. Cool. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna take myself out and let the rest of the team, who's doing a fabulous job, who are doing a great job, they still got silver, on one of them. So, bruh. Can we just go straight to?
All right, let's do
We need to see them putting it in there. Everybody, look again. Everybody, make sure you go to the Facebook page. Go to Facebook.
Okay, y'all got till 8:30. 8:30.
Go to Facebook and make sure you join. If you have not already joined, go join the Facebook group Top 5 Live Nation. Type in Top 5 Live Nation. Join that group. I'll accept it. I'll accept you. Matter of fact, let me check that joint now. Let me multitask to make sure we don't have some people that I got to let in. And then let you vote on this poll tonight.
Jennifer Hudson. Okay. All right, y'all.
All right. So on Simone, let me finish by saying on Simone, the whole reason that it bothered me is because there's so many different aspects that this is a problem for. We also know that as black people and the black athletes especially, you're seen as a commodity, you're seen as something that's owned, and this is another situation like that. That's why you say you let your country down and all that bull crap. Stupid. It also doesn't take into account that while she was a rape victim, while it was being publicly put out there for the world to know, she went out there and won countless medals for this country. In the middle of all of that stuff becoming unraveled, and she's still out there vaulting and being a GOAT as she always was. So she's already handled immense pressure as it is. So if she gets to this point now and says, I can't handle this moment right now. I need to get my head together. Anybody second guessing that is foolish. Just to be quick about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just
we
retarded.
Don't disagree. We don't disagree.
Yeah. So I'll move on to the next subject because you know what I'm saying we're trying to get to 8:30 so we can get to the list. And then maybe we can circle back to some other ones. So the next topic, what do y'all want to go to next? Do you want to go to Kevin Samuels next?
Yeah, I'll do Kevin Samuels.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna sit up a little bit because I'm.
God.
Listen.
He done got into his chair now.
I'm in my chair.
He done got into his chair now.
There's a couple of things. Like number one, all right. I'm gonna try and get through each point.
All right.
But the petition, because that was part of it, the petition to cancel him or take him on Instagram is really stupid. The people that are doing it, it's not you. You aren't stupid, but the petition is stupid. The reason why the petition is stupid is because he's not really doing what he says is dumb, but it's no dumber than any other stuff that people are putting up on Instagram. Like it's not, it's just his opinion out there. And frankly, there are people that are going to him for his opinion. So somebody is okay with it.
Okay.
So let me get that out.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to the brothers right now.
Oh boy.
If you are a man and you are looking at Kevin Samuels as a source of logic and this is a source of he's a role model.
Oh boy.
Like there's a lot of dudes out there like, oh man, this dude's spitting truth. You've got problems. You got problems. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I'm told you. I had a rant for this, and I'm coming for it. Kevin Samuels makes a lot. He's the only thing that Kevin Samuels says that makes sense is that if you are, how do I put this? You have to. The only thing he says that makes sense is you have to kind of recalibrate your expectations when you're looking for a certain individual. Like if you are, looking for a dude that's making six figures, and if you're looking for a dude that's making six figures and you're hanging out with like a bunch of dudes that work at McDonald's, you're probably not going to find that dude that's making six figures. Hey, like you have to, there are some women.
Next week is the fries.
Yeah, man. What you mean?
Well, you can get your fries, but you ain't getting six figures. But a lot of other things that he says, like number one, him calling men who make six figures and more high value men is the dumbest damn thing I've ever heard.
I agree with
that. Just because you making six figures does not make you a high value man. It makes you a high income, a high earning man. Mm-hmm. That's great, but that don't make you high value.
I agree with all that.
The way he talks to women is very demeaning. It's super demeaning. Even though they invite it from time to time, it doesn't matter. It's very demeaning. And he lives within this kind of old school patriarchal mindset that is honestly almost dead.
It's archaic.
It's beyond archaic because his perspective is, well, the dude is making six figures, so he should be able to go sleep with, this chick on the side, and you have to deal with it because you want to do with six figures. That's the damn dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm tired of dudes who are out there like, oh yeah, he's spitting game. Nah, dude, you don't make six figures. You're not even the dude that he's talking about. So like, y'all got to stop. Like seriously, y'all got to stop. For my women though, y'all got to stop giving this dude energy. Stop calling in and asking him for advice on how to get a six-figure dude. Because honestly, his advice ain't good. He's trying to get you with men who want to cheat on you. Like that's the craziest thing in the world. Like no man should make. It doesn't matter if he makes six figures. It doesn't mean that he's okay to go cheat on you. Y'all gotta stop giving this dude energy. So forget the petition. Forget the petition, dude. Just stop watching.
Hey, I'm gonna say one thing about it.
Go ahead. I'm done. I'm done with my.
I'm just letting you cook, bro.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm tired of dudes. Like, listen, man. I'm tired of dudes acting like this dude is the second coming, and I'm tired of women like calling into his show like, "Hey, I need some advice on how to get a 6-figure dude." You want to know how to get a 6-figure dude? There is no way. You get lucky.
You get lucky. Or you work, or you get a 5-figure dude
making high 5 figures, and you know what? Support him. And you know what? Maybe he gets up to 6 figures, but you know what? That dude probably will love the crap out of you, and he will treat you like your queen that you are, instead of looking for dudes just because they got 6 figures. Because money can go anytime. That dude with 6 figures could lose his job tomorrow.
Correct.
So you can't. So he has people tying their financial wealth to their to the importance in the relationship, and really it's not, because seasons change. And like I said, you could meet this dude and he on Wall Street and he making X amount of money, and then you could have a Black Friday on Wall Street and he on the side, he done.
It's a wrap. Shoot.
So I really wish men would stop putting him on a pedestal and women would stop freaking calling him, because he don't know what he's talking about. I'm done. I've been wanting to say that for a while, but I'm done.
I think it's very entertaining. It's not for me.
It's entertaining, but he makes women look stupid, and then he insults them.
He makes himself look stupid too, but it's entertaining for somebody, and I think it's something for everybody if people find value in it, because people find value in a lot of stuff that I don't.
You're absolutely right, though. You're right.
But I wouldn't take it too seriously, because it's whack to me. But
I mean, like, I'm just it kind of makes my heart hurt when I see women, and I'm pretty sure they're nice women, whatever. They're really nice women. They might even be really quality women. They're calling this dude, and just because they're not like 98 pounds and 5'5", he's trashing them, calling them linebackers and stuff. Like, it's like, for entertainment value, sure, it's funny sometimes, because sometimes the women get out of pocket too, and they start bigging them. They start saying the whole thing, like Friday. Oh, she looked like Janet Jackson.
More like Freddie Jackson.
Right. You can't say certain things, and then, but like, don't put yourself in that, man. Don't. I just had to get that out. But forget the petition. The petition is stupid.
I want to talk about T'Challa real quick before, because I think we all agree on this one. So I think it could be quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just want a quick vote before we get to this top 5. Are you okay? Would you be okay with recasting T'Challa?
Absolutely. Do it tomorrow.
Absolutely. Also, Morgan?
I got stuck looking at this list.
That's not a good list.
I got. What was the question?
Just a yes or a no. Just a yes or no. Would you be okay with recasting T'Challa?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yes,
see, we all agree on that.
I would be okay with recasting T'Challa. We got 2 minutes. All right. So I will be okay with recasting T'Challa. Would I also be okay with them not recasting T'Challa and turning the story a different direction? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And the reason is and the reason is because I think Ryan Coogler is talented enough, and I think Disney's tell story was well enough and has all the means needed to be able to make that work. That's the reason that I think they could do it. And I also think if I'm a writer on that project, I would love to get my hands on that because because it's already source material that lends itself to it. 2, because there's a lot of different opportunities that could open up for other people. But I also think it's very okay. I do think it is of prime importance though that they do recast. If not I'm not saying in this movie, but I think they should definitely recast. Since they had a Wakanda Forever show coming to Disney Plus, you could definitely present that person then, right? Yeah. Present who the next person is going to be and start working.
They got a multiverse coming. They got plenty of opportunities to do it.
Yes,
I think T'Challa is too valuable a character, too to the black. Of course, there's other people who have been Black Panther. Shuri, there's plenty of other people who have been Black Panther, but T'Challa has the largest amount of source material for them to draw from. So I think they would be doing a disservice to Black Panther to not ever bring T'Challa back. That's all.
I think a disservice to Black Panther and Black people. I think a disservice to Black people and Black actors, all of that. Like, it would be. I don't think it would be a cool move for all of that, because again, like we talked about before, that there's been multiple Supermans, there's been too many Batmen. You know what I'm saying? There's been all these recasts already. You know what I'm saying? So for you not to recast T'Challa is gonna make it seem like, oh, so we just can't have nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? So you had an insane amount of success with this movie, and now all of a sudden it's a Black guy and he just can't be replaced. That sounds like BS. And there's no way to but the thing that I'm waiting to see is whether or not Disney understands that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see whether or not Feige understands that. I trust Ryan Coogler to understand that, but I'm waiting to see kind of how that's gonna work out. I'm
gonna give my 2 cents, and then we can move on to the top 5.
All right.
A couple of things. It is pretty, I don't want to say racist, but it's really ridiculous to think that there's one Black man on this planet that can play T'Challa well.
I don't think anybody thinks that, though. I don't think anybody thinks that. I think what it is, you
don't recast. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with that. I think more than anything, they just want to make sure that they do him justice of making sure that they pay homage to him, which is why, to me, it makes sense that the plan this whole time that makes sense to me is that the plan has always been they're going to recast. They're just not going to recast in this movie. They're going to give him his role.
That's stupid, though.
No, it's not. See, that's what the argument is.
What I'm saying. This is why we argue.
Yeah, this is the argument right here.
Hold on. You're saying they want to pay homage to him. Okay, cool. Then you do something at the beginning of the film. You do something during the Marvel credit sequence. Like, hold on. You do something. I let you roll. You do something during the credit sequence. You do something during the credit sequence, right? And you do something at the end of the movie. But if you really thought Chadwick Boseman wanted the role to end with him, I think Chadwick himself would be like, nah, T'Challa got to keep going.
I agree.
Like, that's how you pay homage to him, by you continuing the role that made him famous.
I understand if it was like Stan Lee's cameos can't go on. Like, they can't bring in Kevin Smith to do cameos from now on. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. But T'Challa can be, there's plenty of actors who could play T'Challa.
And then what it does is, like, okay, it almost cheapens it for me. And it's too much of an emotional response.
Yeah, I think the initial response is emotional. Yeah.
And I understand it. I understand that they're grieving. Like, I understand that they're grieving, and it's a tough thing for them to do, which is why in my mind I'm like, just push the movie back. I would rather you either push the movie back or understand that somebody else should be able to get this role. Somebody else should be able to get a chance to do T'Challa, and then you can pay. They've been paying homage to him since he passed.
George Reeves, who was that?
That was the older Superman. That was way old. That's like black and white, I believe.
It don't matter. Whoever it is, don't matter.
But T'Challa needs the opportunity to continue. We don't need to see Shuri as Black Panther. We don't need to see, what's his name? Killmonger revived and redeemed to become Black Panther. No one really wants to see that.
I would like to see Shuri. I would like to see Shuri Black Panther, but not yet. Not at this point.
Exactly. We want more time with T'Challa. T'Challa got one movie focused on him. One. Well, show him off now. It's not fair. It's like if you did Captain America: The First Avenger, right? And Chris Evans died after that. like we still want to see Captain America movies. Like we're sad he died, but we still want to see Captain America.
He'll need Winter Soldier though. Look, we all agree mostly.
Okay,
we all agree mostly.
So where we're not about to agree, and y'all continue to put your list in here and make sure you go. If you, again, like I said before, if you have not already joined the page, Top 5 Live Nation on Facebook, go join the page now so that we can see y'all's list. I want y'all to post it in the group page so that we can see y'all's list. And we also have a poll there so that when we get done revealing our top 5, y'all can vote on who has the best top 5. And I definitely want y'all to hit the poll up. And you got to be in the group. You got to be a group member in order to do that. So I want everybody to go over there. And go join the group so we can get you in on this poll. The topic of the conversation was just now. It was on whether or not to recast Charlotte. We might circle back to that, but right now we're getting ready to get into the top 5 list. And the top 5 list is on. I'm gonna let Javon say it again so I don't mess it up.
The top 5 most influential Black vocalists since 1990.
Female
vocalists since 1990.
All right. So
Morgan, you got to go because you claimed your list was.
And I don't have to last time.
Danny went first last time.
I went first before. I was the first one to go first.
Time for that. It's your turn, Morgan.
Fine. Do y'all want me to go from 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
Oh, whatever. How you want to do it. Just read them all.
5 to 1. 5 to 1. Number 5. Whitney Houston. Number 4.
5 is Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Let him go.
Number 4. Janet Jackson. Number 3. Rihanna. Number 2. Mary J. Blige. Number 1. Beyonce.
Your list worse than mine, bro.
Your
list worse than mine, bro. No, you did not.
My list is great.
Bruh.
My list is great.
Go ahead, Danny.
At 5?
Go ahead, Danny. I gotta recover, Danny.
Hey, recover, bro.
Whitney's at 5, sir.
Yeah, hey, there's a reason, and we're gonna get into it too.
Bruh.
We can get into it too, but there's a big reason for that.
Bruh.
What you mean, bro?
You got Rihanna. Time out. You got Rihanna at 3 over the last 30 years. Okay.
Listen,
Danny, go ahead.
How you want to Whitney?
Danny, go. Just go.
Hold up.
Just go.
Can you put your list in the chat or somewhere?
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
We gotta go back to it. We gotta go back to it. Okay. Now, you want me to go next or you want to go?
Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead, man.
All right. All right. So my list comes with another list, okay? Because listen, what
do you mean?
Like a list, dude.
Listen, because I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from with this list.
One list.
No, listen.
One list, Danny. I
want to agree on something first, though. Today's female vocalist landscape was influenced by this generation that we're talking about, right? These last 30 years, right? So today's top female vocalists are Jasmine Sullivan, Rihanna.
It's not the topic, man.
Okay, but
the topic.
Listen,
Danny, what's the topic, dude?
Summer Walker, her, Tiana Taylor, SZA, Janelle Monáe, Janae Aiko, Ella Mai.
Tiana Taylor. No, I'm not doing this. Read your list, Danny.
And Chloe and Halle, right? All right. So those are some of the top artists from this decade. So every one of those that I mentioned, you can see their influence from these 5 artists that I'm about to give you. All right. My list is number 5.
I'm so sad.
Brandy Norwood. Number 4, Erykah Badu. Number 3, Janet Jackson. Number 2, Whitney Houston. And number 1, Beyonce. That is the list. That is the definitive list right there, sir. Gentlemen.
I'm so done with both of y'all.
That's the list, bro.
You make sure you roll your joint out.
I'm so done with both of y'all. That
is the list.
Oh my God. That's Jesus Christ.
That is the influential list of the past 30 years.
All right, here we go. I got you. I said my list was going to be a little controversial, but y'all beat the crap out of it.
Nah, I know I did.
You can go already.
Yeah, you did.
I'm ready.
Y'all, okay. Top 5 influential. Remember that word.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Now, don't try and play me now.
Nah, bro. You had
That's the key.
Whitney at 5.
All right, here we go. Number 5, Sade.
Who Sade influenced? That's
Go ahead.
right
That's
now.
your favorite singer's
Just
favorite
go.
singer.
Just go, bro.
Right.
We'll get into it.
Number 4, Mary J. Blige. Number 3,
Danny Type
Mariah Carey. Number 2, Whitney Houston. Number 1, Janet Jackson.
Jackson's 1 on your list,
Number 1.
bro. I don't have.
So we're gonna have to we're gonna have to discuss how we got.
Why wouldn't Janet be on the? Can I ask why would Janet not? Why would Janet be on? What's the problem with Janet being on the list?
Not Janet's on my list. Janet was 3 on my list, but 1 above Britney and Beyonce. Hold up, was Beyonce on your list?
No, Beyonce's not on the list. It's top 5 influential. Guys, you're missing the point though. Hear me out.
I gotta mute myself too.
Hear me out. Hear me out, y'all. It's not the most successful artist. If it was the most successful artist, Beyonce would be on the list. Hold on. If it was the most successful, thank you. If it was the most successful artist,
give that man a drink. Please give him something to drink.
Beyonce would be on the list. But but listen, this is the way I look at it. All 5 of those women, Beyonce's not Beyonce without all 5 of them. They all influenced her.
There were people that influenced Jordan. Is Julius Erving? Please just go ahead.
But we're not talking about most
over the last 30 years though.
Hold on. I gotta say good night to my son. Hold on.
Yeah. Daddy, please take over because he on some nonsense. Please. please. I gotta look back at you too because I think
I gotta go back
to you.
That
bad, Daddy.
Hear me out. Listen. So
what's up, little man?
Say hi, everybody.
What's up, handsome?
Say Daddy's right.
Daddy's right.
I can't even tell him no. That's illegal. That's the last time that ever happens on this show. That's terrible.
My daddy's smart.
My daddy's smart.
Yo, you can't use your kids, bro. Like,
don't be teaching your kids to lie this early.
All right,
what's wrong with you? Who does that?
All right, so here we go. I put Janet at number 1 because Janet dominated the 90s and the early 2000s. Dominated. Go check the stats.
I agree. Anybody that's dancing and singing today, Janet influenced. Anybody. Dominated. I agree.
Whitney influenced every singer.
Whitney changed the whole
and she had a dominant the 1990s.
I agree.
She had a dominant 1990s. Everybody is influenced by Whitney. Mariah literally, if you go through, look at her, how many number 1 hits she has. Look at how many singers sing like her.
Somebody else sing. Keep going.
Ariana Grande literally is a child of Mariah Carey.
Is Mariah Carey black though?
Yes.
She's half black.
Are we sure? Sure?
Oh my God.
Christina Aguilera been ripping off Mariah Carey for years.
Okay, which black artist did she influence is what I'm saying.
Beyonce has said it.
No.
Said what?
I gotta look back and see.
Are you guys serious? This chick, this woman has had like she's gone diamond. Like she is not only successful, but every singer, she made a Christmas song a freaking hit.
Okay.
Every singer that was born in the 80s and 90s was trying to sing like Mariah and Whitney.
That's in the 80s and 90s. Okay.
So Mary J. Blige, Queen of Hip Hop Soul. Like literally, like you can't not have her on the list. Like she got a bunch of children in this industry right now too. Everybody that you just read your list off, Danny, is influenced by Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige, I agree, would have influence on Brandy.
And but Sade, every time they
not for the last 30. No,
I'm out. Listen, every time they ask all these artists who their favorite R&B singer is, they say Sade. Sade literally almost invented neo soul.
Do you have footage of these people saying this? Because I don't.
Beyonce said it.
Listen, I agree that they all say that they love Sade, but
so she influenced them, right?
She's influencing singers, yes, but that's about it.
The point of what we're talking about.
That's about it, though. Like she's not influencing.
That's what we're talking about, right? Is that not what we're talking about?
No, because when
all of that goes together. Yeah.
When I said Tyler Perry last week, y'all said just acting.
All of it goes together. No pressure about it. All of it goes together.
Nah, because last week
you're not bringing up Tyler Perry. You're not bringing up Tyler Perry. Don't bring up Tyler Perry ever again, dude.
Y'all said his acting.
Don't bring up Tyler Perry ever again
for him.
Don't bring up Tyler Perry ever again, man. You got to stop that, man. And Tyler Perry is not an influential actor. He is an influential director, producer, and writer.
Medea influential. I don't care what none of y'all say. Y'all seen Big Mama's House?
How are we back on this?
Wait, time out. Big Mama's House came out before Tyler Perry did Medea.
Nah, I didn't.
Big Mama's House came out in the 90s, bro.
Tyler Perry was hold on, let me look at it.
No,
we ain't going back to Tyler Perry.
Out in the 90s.
We ain't going back to Tyler Perry. All right.
You already did it. I don't even know.
Eddie Murphy was dressing in drag before Tyler Perry. What are we doing? What are you doing?
But Medea is still the biggest the biggest of those roles, though. Anyways, I want to know.
You see the argument. His argument is gone. Like he messed it all up. You messed it all up bringing back Tyler Perry.
I want to know why y'all would. No, that's your fault. That's your fault because you said. All right, so I want to know why.
If we talking about the most influential vocalist, Sade literally almost literally invented neo soul.
Neo soul,
like,
yeah.
No other artist was doing neo soul.
How big of a genre is neo soul at this point in time?
What'd you say?
How big of a genre is neo soul right now? Like
Jill Scott, India Arie, Lettucey. I mean, no.
Okay, yeah, it's not great artists in neo soul, but it's not a big genre. It's not. They not out here winning awards. And you just said
neo soul is not a big genre.
You just went from saying that Mariah Carey went diamond to saying that neo soul is got Jill Scott and Lettucey. Like,
so let me say this real quick. So when we talk about influence, right, and I want to do this for everybody that's already a part of it. Again, also do not forget to go to the group page so that you can vote in the poll that's on the page now of who has the best list. And I also want y'all to post y'all's list on the fan page or the group page. Just go to Top 5 Live Nation. That's the group page name. Go up there and vote. All right. Thank you. When we talk about influence, it incorporates a lot of different things, which is why my list was put together in the way that it was. So because for me, influence also goes to what they've done for the culture, what they've done for our people, what they've done awards wise, what they've done, what their impact in like that's why Danny could say Tyler Perry. We did so the biggest reason we laughed about Tyler Perry is because he was at number one over Denzel and Will Smith and them. And
I laugh because he's not an influential actor. You're talking about number one. You're talking about a character. Number one.
Yes, but what I'm explaining is
one character doesn't trump everything Denzel did or Jamie Foxx or Will Smith.
And that's what I'm explaining. So what I'm
saying, $1 billion it does. I don't care.
But that's what I'm saying. See, you can't say so. All of it goes together. All of it works together. So Tyler, yes, he's on the
top 5. Y'all got
he's on the stratosphere because of how big of an impact he has. This man, he's a black man that built himself from homeless
as a businessman, as a director, as
but
a writer.
The part of the business was him being able to write and act in his own plays.
But ain't him. That's the listen. There's a reason why we laugh when he said Tyler Perry, because nobody looks at Tyler Perry as an actor first. They look at him as a director and a writer.
We said influential. We said influential. So that means you take the acting into account. His business acumen. Yes, you do.
We don't. No, we don't. God. Even if that was the case, you wouldn't put him in there. Even if that was the case.
Explain influence. We didn't say his best acting skills. We said top 5 most influential
actor. Tyler Perry barely considers himself to be an actor. He's a director and a writer, dude. He's a director and a writer. All of it
goes together. So
why don't we have Spike Lee?
Based on just
why don't we have Spike Lee? Why don't we have Spike Lee? Why was Spike Lee in the top 5?
Spike Lee hadn't had any roles.
Yeah, what role does he have that was a big role?
He was in Malcolm X.
What lead role did he have?
Dude,
what lead role did he have?
Oh my God, dude. Come on, guys.
But all I'm telling you is you can't. All I'm telling you is that you can't make an influential list and not consider all things.
Let's stay on topic.
I am on topic. I'm trying to explain that you cannot make a most influential list and not use everything. You can't just use just how talented that person is.
I understand that, and I'm saying that the other 5 people that we named, their bodies of work, even though, yes, Tyler Perry has been successful over the last 15, 20 years, but pretty much everybody who else named been doing it for like 30. Okay. So they influenced Tyler Perry.
But okay. All right. So go.
Am I wrong?
That segues into my list, right? Because somebody asked me why Rihanna's on the list. Rihanna's on the list because I think her first album dropped in 2005. So that puts her like halfway of her influence, but very similar to what Danny talked about with Tyler Perry.
You ain't even got Mariah Carey on your list, though.
Mariah Carey, like I told you earlier, at my number 5 spot, to me, was the one that I was really trying to figure out who I could put there, because I had Sade there, I had Erykah Badu there, I had Mariah Carey there, I had Whitney Houston there. The reason I went with Whitney over the rest of them is because she did not, one, she died early. 2, part of her career was extremely marred and still is because of the stuff with Bobby Brown, the crack, all of that type of stuff. That crap is a part of it too. You can't just take some of it and not take all of it, because that's part of influence. She had influence and she had negative influence too. Are you gonna make the case that she did not have a negative influence?
I would argue that her positive influence greatly outweighs her negative influence.
I don't
even think people really consider, like, dude, seriously here. Come on, man. Whitney
I didn't
Houston,
say it doesn't. What I'm saying is that you have to take all into account.
Listen to me. Whitney Houston on no list should be below Beyonce or Rihanna, because both of them are her children.
Come on, stop with that BS. Michael Jordan is Julius Erving's children.
Let me get on this one. The only reason,
listen.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT, is he not?
Yes, he's the GOAT.
Who influenced him?
Music.
Who influenced him?
Oh my God, dude! You're comparing sports and music. It's not the same thing, dude.
What the hell do you mean?
It's not the same thing.
I listen for the Whitney Houston Beyonce thing. All right, the only reason I would put Beyonce above Whitney in influence for the last 30 years is because Whitney's career's cut short. Like she was killing
late 40-year career. What are you talking about?
But late 80s,
the other 10
early
don't
90s,
the 80s don't count.
So she had a 30-year career.
She can't have had a 30-year career. She died in 2012. What are you talking about?
All right, she had a 1990. So she had a 22-year career within that time frame.
And
she was not dominant that whole time.
All of her best stuff came out before 2010. Like
I Will Always Love You. Seriously,
that was the 90s.
That was the 90s. What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's within the time frame that we're talking about.
Did you listen to what Danny said? Did you listen to what Danny said?
The Preacher's Wife was great, but I'm not watching it in 2010.
Beyonce ain't had one song that did that well. She ain't had one song that's done that well.
Nobody's had a song that did that well. You talking about For the Bodyguard? You talking about I Will Always Love You?
Yes.
She had a whole movie that
she had one song that is done. Beyonce has not had one song that has been as successful as that. Beyonce has not had one album that has been as successful as Mariah's albums. Not one.
What?
Mariah has multiple diamond albums.
Are you joking?
Mariah has multiple diamond albums.
You have to be joking. You have to be joking right now, bro.
She has multiple diamond albums, dude.
How many
Grammys she got? How many Grammys she got since we gonna count up like that? How many Grammys?
Mariah?
Yeah.
How many Mariah
got?
Mariah got 5 within that time frame.
You know how many more Beyonce has than that?
Look at the competition.
20 in the joint. What the hell are you talking about? She got 25.
It's the only other person that's
she destroys everybody. That's why she ain't got no competition. Who's gonna hold a candle to her?
So R&B. So we're really gonna act like R&B is the same now that it was before.
No, it's not, because Brandy changed the game.
So why are you? So you're yelling at me about she ain't got no competition. Yes, you're right. The competition is less.
Can I tell you why the game is different? Because Brandy came in and changed the game, and y'all gonna stop disrespecting my girl Brandy Norwood. Okay, when Brandy came in, she changed the whole. Her, Monica, and Aaliyah changed the whole game. Brandy's the only one out here still putting out albums, though. of the three.
No, what? Whoa. All right. So
good. I'm sorry. The only one putting out good albums of the three.
No. The only person that's been named tonight that has dominated from rooter to tutor, from all the way when it started to all the way right now. The only person is Mary J. Blige. It's dominated from back then till now.
Dominated what?
I'm gonna tell you. Can I tell you? Listen, can I tell you something?
What are you talking about?
Hey, dude, can I tell you something about Mary J. Blige? Can I help you out? Because I told you I came with bullets today. Mary J. Blige. She has had platinum albums. She ain't got no Grammys.
Who don't have no Grammys?
She's had one number one hit on the top chilled of the Billboard Awards. She's got one.
Who?
I believe it.
Mary J. Blige has one. Family Affair is her only number one song. Now she's got number one hits on the R&B chart.
Share My World is her best album, in my opinion.
So
she was not dominating in the 90s. Mariah,
who wasn't dominating in the 90s?
Janet dominated the 90s.
She might have been dominating in New York and Durham, but that's about it. Like
who? Mary J.
Blige.
Let me tell you about Mariah. Mariah got her first album went 9-time platinum.
We know Mariah sold albums. We get that.
She was almost 15 number one singles. She's got 5 Grammys. I'm just saying, like
you should have left Grammys out because the rest of them have like 5 or 4. I looked this
right,
up.
but exactly. Okay. But they ain't selling records like she did. She was hugely influential to everything. Yes, Brevin, he is totally right. Whitney broke the glass ceiling for all these they all her children. Whitney and Janet were the biggest stars on the planet.
Okay, but Mary J literally built the bridge between R&B and hip hop. She literally built that bridge.
No, she didn't. That bridge already existed.
Who did it? Who?
Jodeci was there doing it before.
Who'd you say?
Jodeci did it before her.
I'm talking about for women. Obviously, we're talking about a female list. What are you
just said? He broke the bridge. I'm just saying.
I said she literally built the bridge. She built the bridge for women to be able to cross from R&B into hip hop.
I have her on my list. I'm not
all of that. Okay, so you gave all of Mariah's accolades. I'm telling you why Mary J. Blige is in the place.
But you don't even have Mariah on your list, though.
I told you, Mariah is between Mariah, Whitney.
I don't think Mariah. She ain't making my list.
Bruh, she's black, dude.
Okay.
I mean, Google is your friend.
She's half
Google
black.
is your friend, dude.
About, bro?
She's black. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
wow,
if we say so, she didn't make my list.
You literally wilding out loud. Like it's insane what you're doing right now. But
here's my problem. My problem with you, Morgan, is you're telling me that the back of your list had Whitney. Hold on, the back of your list had Whitney and Mariah and people who.
Thank you, Mary.
Who were what?
Read what she said.
Yeah, I agree.
But you're not putting everything you talk about with Mariah. She had this many diamond albums, and she had blah 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 blah.
She was also put on good performances. She had style. She had voice. Would you put her performances up there with let's say? But not every performer is the same. Janet does a different type of performance than Whitney Houston, then that does a different performance than Mariah Carey, then does a different performance than Mary J. Blige. That's like comparing DMX to Jay-Z. They're two different performances. Jay-Z don't do what DMX does, and DMX don't do what Jay-Z do.
Can I ask you a question about Mariah Carey, please, Javon?
Go ahead, man.
Which Mariah Carey album can you sing front to back?
Dude, Honey is a banger, dude.
You still sing those songs right now?
I love Honey.
Honey is her best album, in my opinion. But I'm not singing it. I haven't played it in
music
7 years.
Oh man, y'all need to stop.
I haven't played anything from Honey in the last 7 years except for the ones that come on movies that I watch.
Dude, Just because you didn't do it doesn't mean that other people don't. Like you are looking, you're in the bubble, man.
Have you listened to Honey and said?
Every year they play her song. Every year, every Christmas.
Have you played Honey? Christmas have you played Honey in the last 7 years?
Absolutely, I have. It's on my playlist. It's on my playlist.
Okay, you like the one with ODB? That's you talking about? Like,
no, that's not even Honey. That's not even Honey. That's what I'm telling you. It's not even Honey. That's Dream Lover. That's before that.
All I'm saying is, like I tried to make the point before, influence has more to do with just how many albums they sell. All of these things go together. All of it goes together is what I was trying to say. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Because earlier you were talking about Whitney. All of these people are Whitney's children. Okay,
they are her children.
Okay,
every single one of them. Michael Jordan every single one of them
are Julius Erving's children. So what?
Let me give you an example. Kobe is a child of Jordan.
Yes, he is.
Right?
Yeah, so but do you put Julius Erving in the list? Would you ever put Julius Erving in a list with Michael Jordan and Kobe?
Yeah, but Michael Jordan isn't the child of Dr. J of Julius Erving. What are you talking about?
Whose child is he then? Who inspired Michael Jordan?
Like Michael Jordan before Jordan came along?
Julius Erving?
No, stop that. No,
you're telling me Michael Jordan never said Julius Erving inspired his game?
Y'all crazy.
Is that what you're saying?
Y'all crazy.
Magic was.
Is that what you're saying?
It's in sports. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
You sound ridiculous.
How do I sound ridiculous? Because I'm saying that everybody on my list influenced everybody at the top of your list.
But my list, what I said
was Brandy on your list. Stop, man.
Because her, do you listen to her? Have you listened to her?
Wait, you
Brandy
do have
is literally Whitney Houston's goddaughter.
Brandy is literally and that's why she's on my list.
You have Moesha on your list?
I agree with you. Absolutely. Yes.
This dude said
Mo to the E to the.
I
you don't think people are still singing her theme songs right now?
No. Nobody
was just binging it on. Twitter was just binging it 2 months ago.
No, don't do that.
Bruh, you lying. If you gonna tell me that Twitter wasn't binging Moesha two months ago when they finally came on Netflix, y'all lying.
So the reason that nobody can step to Beyonce is because, like I said,
all of them can step to Beyonce.
No, they can't. No,
Mariah literally has better sales than Beyonce.
No. Listen, Danny, do you see what he's doing every time
Beyonce without Mariah? Without Mariah,
we said influence.
Janet.
We said influence. We said influence.
Exactly. You understand?
We said influence.
They influenced her.
So Mariah is Michael Jordan.
They blazed the trail for Beyonce.
So did Julius Erving, so did Bill Russell.
Stop bringing up sports. We are talking about.
I'm bringing up sports because you're making the same type of argument. It's a weak argument. It's a weak argument. It's a very bad argument, actually.
What's your argument? You're talking about, she did work in the community. That's not what we freaking talking about. This isn't the most charitable experience of all damn time. That's not what we're talking about.
That is
about the most charitable singers. Like, that's dumb, dude.
That is influence.
My wife gets it.
No, it's not.
My wife gets it.
All of that is
that woman,
bruh.
How is that not influence? Are you kidding me right now?
God, dude.
Hey,
Tiana,
listen.
Tiana,
the definition of
this. If you don't take Tamala Man off that list, I swear to beans. If you do not take Tamala Man off,
Lauryn Hill, dude.
I love my sister. I love my sister.
Tamala be singing though.
You gotta get rid of Lauryn Hill.
Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson.
Oh my God.
No, hey, but listen, me and Tiana don't listen to Beyonce at all. But
I'm not going to speak ill of your wife. I'm not going to speak ill of your wife. I'm going to be quiet. I'm just going to be quiet and I'm going to make noises.
I'm not going into that. I'm not going into that. That's ridiculous. I don't have nothing else to say
about it.
All I'm saying is Beyonce. If you want to go to sales, right? If you want to go to sales and that's your trump card for Mariah, fine.
It's not my trump card. The trump card is very simple. You are in recency bias. This is the same damn Chadwick Boseman argument again. It's recency bias.
No, it's not. You nostalgic then.
I'm not nostalgic. I'm talking about history.
We on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
What was history? The history is Janet was dominant. Janet was dominant literally from 1990 until like the mid 2000s. Like she's been putting out, just like she talked about, he's still pulling out stuff. Janet literally
was that much more dominant than Mary J?
Yes, absolutely.
How? Where?
Oh my gosh. Rhythm Nation?
That was the 80s.
No, it was 89. All the singles didn't come out
when,
until
when is our list? When is our list comprised of what years?
If the songs came out in 19
what years?
okay.
Years does our list comprise of?
Okay, maybe not. All right, Janet came out Janet came out. Design of a Decade, Velvet Rope, All for You.
And you think all of those albums are destroying Mary J's albums in the same time?
Velvet Rope is better than every Mary J. But
hey,
you are smoking.
No,
come on. Now.
He's right. First of all, he's right. Velvet Rope is absolutely.
Velvet Rope is a banger. Janet,
I didn't say it's not a banger.
Janet's influence was outside of the music, though. Janet's influence was cultural, like her dancing, the way she dressed, the way that she presented herself.
Okay, thank you for making my argument.
I'm not saying that she wasn't. She's a great musical artist.
I'm saying that there are artists that are literally mimicking her to this day.
Exactly, I agree with you.
There are artists that are mimicking Mary J and trying to be her and can't.
I'm not disagreeing. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is on my list.
Who's mimicking Mary J. Blige?
All I'm saying is
Mary J. Blige is on my list. I don't know why he's arguing.
Okay. So what I said earlier,
every one of most of the singers not. If you see her is mimicking Mary J. Blige.
No, she's not. She's
style-wise, yes. Style-wise,
no, she's not.
No, she's not. She's mimicking Brandy. Her whole sound is Brandy's sound.
You bring up Brandy one more time.
Her whole sound is Brandy's sound. Listen to the album. Y'all are losing it, bro. Y'all are not listening to the music, bro.
Bruh.
How does not anything like
Brandy, bro?
How are you saying that her sounds more like Mary J. Blige than Brandy? Are you serious?
Help me, Lord. Help me, Jesus.
Please, just answer this one question. I will leave y'all alone. Tell me honestly that you think her, today's biggest R&B vocalist, female, sounds more like Mary J. Blige than Brandy. Honestly,
I would say she's closer to Mary J. than
you're wilding right now, bro. I don't know what's
than Brandy.
I love y'all, man. It's 9:06. I gotta go, man. I told my wife 9 o'clock. I'm gonna see y'all later, bro. Y'all bug.
Man, your wife is in here now. Get the F out of here.
Dude, so you have to understand when I'm talking about influential, I'm talking about if you blaze the trail, if the type of singing that you do, how you sing is repeated and copied. If the music that you do is the style of music is continued. That's what I'm talking about. That's why. Hold on. Let me finish, Morgan. Let me finish. That's why I can say Janet is number one. When you have Sierra and you have Aaliyah and you have all these other artists that literally are taking what she started and running with it. That's why I can say Whitney is number two, because all these women that are out here riffing and running and everything, doing these church vocals. They weren't doing it to the level that Whitney was doing it before Whitney got there. So that's why I say Beyonce is a child of Whitney, because the way she sings is very, very close to how Whitney Houston would sing. Same thing with Mariah Carey, all Christina Aguilera, all these other girls, they're literally singing. Ariana Grande tries to sing so much like Mariah Carey, it's not even funny. Mary J. Blige, same thing, that cross between hip hop and R&B. All of them do, a lot of these singers, it does it too. Tiana Taylor, all of them, they're following in her footsteps. Once again, that's why I picked Sade, Lettucey, Groove Theory, Jill Scott, all of them following in her footsteps. They have influenced a generation of singers after them that are doing the same thing. They're just modernizing it a bit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Beyonce and Rihanna aren't successful. That I would be serious. I'd be silly to say that. They are very successful and they are influential to the newer crop of people, which is why time out. I didn't want to have to choose between Beyonce and Rihanna. It was either going to be one or the other, but Sade influenced an entire genre. Beyonce can't say that. Rihanna can't really say that. They can't. They're just doing R&B or pop music. They didn't create a genre. Sade literally is the prototype for neo soul music. She's the prototype for it. Beyonce and Rihanna are just continuing on with what the people before her, the women before her have done. Tell you. And if the only thing you could say to me is, well, they're big now. Yeah, they big now. Yes, absolutely. There are a lot of artists that are big now. Drake is big now. But is he a top, like, is he the most influential in the last 30 years? I wouldn't say that, because he's literally following his footsteps of guys before him.
Okay.
Sade is neo soul, dude. I said it's the prototype of neo soul. There was no name for neo soul back then.
I would argue Erykah Badu had a huge influence on neo soul.
Erykah Badu came after Sade.
Okay, so you're saying Erykah Badu
after Sade.
I was reading an article earlier and looking at the people that Erykah Badu said influenced her, and Sade was not in there, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna go off your memory, whatever, dude. But I was looking at an article about Beyonce, and she talked about how Sade influenced her. I mean, we could do this all day. But the truth of the matter is,
that's not the point that I'm making, though.
But you're just making the point. You're trying to say, oh, Erykah Badu, yada yada yada. I'm thinking about Sade and neo soul. Anita Baker. No, Anita Baker is not neo soul, dude. What are you talking about? Anita Baker is R&B.
Listen.
Anyway, she's actually more jazz.
The reason to me Beyonce has to be at the top out of the last 30 years is, one, because her domination is unrivaled in her time period of rulership. Her domination is unrivaled in her time space. Number two,
it ain't as big.
Number two, her sales are insane. Her sales are insane, not just in the group, but after she left the group when people didn't know.
Her sales ain't like Mariah, dude. Her sales ain't like Mariah, man.
Well, Mariah has 5 Grammys and Beyonce has 25. So just drop that argument.
Beyonce is literally in a time period where there is very little
competition. Why are you making that excuse? Who was Mariah?
It is what it is.
Who was really going to Whitney and Mariah were the only 2 people competing in that space.
And right? Janet.
Janet does not sing. Janet is a closer model to Janet. I would say Janet has an influence on Beyonce.
Are you going to say? Huh? You don't think Janet is an influence on Beyonce?
I didn't say she's not. I said they actually mirror each other. Beyonce will be like Janet Jackson. She could put on any type of show you want. She can stand up there and sing. She can dance. She can do all that. That's why Janet's on the list. What I'm saying is Beyonce does it at a level that we have not seen. One of these times we're gonna do a top 5 on the top 5 best performers. And if you don't have Beyonce past 3 on that list, especially for female performers, you need to just throw your list away because that's insane.
But you know who's number 1? Have you seen the Janet Jackson concert?
I didn't. Why are you talking about Janet Jackson like I didn't just say Janet Jackson influenced Beyonce? I literally just said that.
Janet Jackson, time out. If Janet Jackson influences Beyonce, then she's above Beyonce.
No, she's not. And the reason I said that is because number 1, Beyonce has better sales. Number 2, Beyonce has 25. Yes, she does. Beyonce has 25 Grammys. Number 3, Beyonce's effect on the culture is huge. If she literally
bigger than Janet.
It's at least on the same scale, especially on the culture, because
she wasn't as big as Janet.
Okay, tell me one risky thing that Janet Jackson did for African Americans across the board ever in her career.
How many
that she took a stand for African Americans?
You know she did. You know she did the Super Bowl before Beyonce, right?
How the F does that have anything to do with what I just asked you?
You just said. Repeat your question.
I said, tell me one thing that Janet Jackson has done or stood on for African Americans and said that she was and done something that was going to be risky to her career or risky to her health or anything like that, strictly for Black people.
But that's not the argument, though.
That's a part of influence, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but that's not the type of influence. Maybe so. Time out.
Thank you. Exactly. So what I told you before, what I kept trying to tell you is influence encompasses all of those things.
And I'm saying that influence, when we talk about influential, I'm talking about influence. You saying that Janet has been for the culture for years, dude.
Based on what?
Decades.
Based on what?
He's literally been for the culture for decades.
Based on what? I'm asking you what I'm doing.
Morgan, how old are you?
I'm 37.
You're 37. So you were around. You were at least aware in the 90s. You weren't aware of how big of a star she was. Literally on the same level as Michael.
You're not making the.
No,
let
me ask you answer my question. Was she on the same level as Michael Jackson?
Nobody's on the level of Michael Jackson. There's not a soul on the level of Michael Jackson. You're tripping. I'm sorry.
You're rewriting history, dude.
What? I can't think of any artist.
She was definitely on the same level as Michael Jackson. She is a global star. I think you guys
not on Michael Jackson's level, bro.
Really getting
no.
The recency bias is bad.
It's not. There has nothing to do with recency bias. You are putting Janet is great and she's awesome in her own right, but that doesn't mean she's on par with Michael Jackson.
She was definitely on par with Michael Jackson. She was the biggest female star on the planet, dude. At one point, she was the biggest. For a long frame of time, she was the biggest star. With Beyonce, here's the thing. Beyonce right now is in a time where the closest competition she has is what? Her? And hers only been around for a little. Actually, my bad. Rihanna. Rihanna is the closest competition Beyonce got. And I make the argument that her and Rihanna are like right here.
Really?
Tell me how not. Rihanna got sales. Rihanna's there for the culture. Rihanna got influence.
Yes, she is. In a way that, okay, the reason Rihanna's in the place that she is, because I didn't get a chance to explain this before. Number one, Rihanna, like you just said, she's for the culture. That's number one.
Rihanna got sales.
Number two, she's worth over $500 million. And she spent that from her music career and then spent it into other things and other streams of income. Savage, Fenty, all the rest of those things. She's worth over $500 million. And I don't know any other female artist that's on her level because she's making more than Beyonce in that regard. So that's number two. Number three, album sales. Rihanna has insane album sales, and we've been waiting on another album and begging her for another album for like the last 2 years, and she don't have to. Why? Because she has other options of ways that she can continue to influence things and continue to make her money, right? Rihanna has all of those things going for her, and the fact that her music is already dope. What you just said, she's on par with Beyonce. What I'm saying is, she's
on par with Beyonce.
Huh?
I do. I think she's on par with Beyonce.
I didn't say she's not.
But this is my argument, though. This is why I'm saying the women before them blazed the trail and were successful at a time where they were wait.
I didn't disagree.
They're successful at a time where Black women weren't really like it was hard for a Black woman to be successful and cross over on a certain level. So they shattered like glass ceilings.
I agree with
that. Beyonce and Rihanna and all the people that now. So once again, if we were talking, and like I said, Janet been for the culture, so you need to check that. But
I didn't say she's not. What I'm saying
hold on, Morgan, hold on. Just let me finish. So if I'm saying they shattered glass ceilings, they were hugely successful. They are frequently copied, style, way they sing, way they dance, whatever. They have a legion of people who took what they did and modernized it and kept it going. That's why I'm saying they are more influential than. That's why I don't put a Beyonce and a Rihanna there. If we were doing top 10, if they were doing top 10, dude, 30 years, man, 30 years. Diana Ross, Aretha Franklin, Donna Summer, Dionne Warwick are all not within the time frame that we're talking about.
Yeah, but he's talking about influence-wise.
I understand that, but we're not talking about
the people that you talk about.
I agree. If we were talking about the last 50 years, they would be up there. I would put them up.
And you put them over Whitney and them?
Absolutely, because they influenced
just to pay homage.
They influenced Janet.
Okay, so you're one of those people that will put.
But see, you have to, like, I'll give you an example. Whitney didn't have the sales that Mariah had. She didn't. Like, if we're being honest, she didn't. I can show you the numbers. She didn't. But her influence on Mariah, she influenced Mariah. Mariah just took it to another level. She took it to another financial level because of her ability to cross over, frankly, because of what she looked like. Because Whitney is a dark-skinned Black woman and Mariah is a light-skinned, half Black, half whatever woman.
I don't disagree.
Right. So, but that's why, like, if you go back in time, yeah, there would be some give and take there. And I would love to put Beyonce and Rihanna are like 6 and 7 for me.
That's insane.
But Sade, the reason why I have Sade is because she's your favorite singer's favorite singer. And she literally created, she literally was the prototype for an entire genre.
But I don't have any issue with Sade on the list because, like I told you,
Sade, like, I can't take off.
I need you to type in your list too, so I can put it on the
Huh?
I need you to type in your list when you get a chance too, so I can put it on the page. So vote.
How do I do that? Where do I do it?
Just do it in the chat, or you could just private message it to me, and I'll put it. I'll just copy and paste it.
All right, but that's why I can't put the other ones on it because they children. They're the children of the people that came before them. And I struggle with that. I'll be honest with you. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I struggled between putting Sade and Beyonce and Rihanna. I really did. But the reason why I put Sade is because, like I said, they're hurt. Like if you ask Rihanna and Beyonce who their top 5 is, Sade gonna be on their top 5, and Sade probably gonna be high on their top 5.
I'm not, but I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is, it's a very similar argument what I said earlier. Michael Jordan was influenced by other players.
Fair enough.
But we still consider Michael Jordan the GOAT.
Because he took it to another level, though.
That's what I'm telling you. Beyonce has taken everything that everybody built those bridges for her. They broke those ceilings, but she still elevated it to a level that she can't be touched in the generation or the next one.
But the level that you think, the level that you think Beyonce is on now, Mariah been at that level, Janet been at that level, and Whitney been at that level. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Not in all the ways that Beyonce is at the same time.
What do you mean?
Mariah definitely not.
Why not? Mariah was literally the biggest.
So one of the reasons that we keep missing is because I take influence to mean their impact on other people's careers, like you do. Their impact on the culture, their impact on like a whole genre, like you have Sade up there for that reason. Their impact in sales, like how successful they are, and how legendary their career is. All of those things go into it for me. To me, when you keep saying your list, you're continuing to put Mariah there, and the only thing that she has is the sales. And she can sing very well.
Absolutely not, though.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. The only thing Beyonce, I will agree, is that Beyonce does more for the culture than Mariah did. I will agree with you.
Wouldn't you say by a great stretch?
Oh yeah, by a great stretch. But
okay,
but that one thing is not enough to overshadow the fact that listen, you really need to check the record sales, because Mariah's record sales are phenomenally higher than Beyonce. And the reason is because it's a different time. And I'll admit that, because people aren't buying albums like they do before. So that's why you can't really do that. But if you look at number ones, like she had One Sweet Day was literally the number one song for weeks, months.
I remember.
Like Beyonce has never had a hit.
That's insane, bro. You can't say that. You keep saying that.
Tell me a hit that Beyonce had that was like on the
She's
number.
Had countless.
Time out. Listen, that was on the charts for like 52 or more days or more weeks. She has not had
irreplaceable.
One. What?
Irreplaceable?
Absolutely not. Go check.
I will. I definitely will.
Not.
I definitely will.
She has not had the level. Like, she is successful by her contemporaries' standards. Beyonce she's the top. She's the number one chick in the game right now. I mean, it's 1A and 1B with her and Rihanna. Like, they're right here and right here. They're dominating, but their level of domination compared to, because remember, Aaliyah was like the top chick in the game before Beyonce. Like, Beyonce was still kind of up against Aaliyah before Aaliyah died. Like,
yeah, Beyonce wasn't, but she was with Destiny's Child and she wasn't on her own.
No, she put out her first album before Aaliyah died.
Yeah, but her first album smashed.
It was good, but it wasn't. I think you really need to read. You need to look. Even right here, Mariah has 18 number one hits. Bae got 10. And her Beyonce's number one hit, she does not have a number one hit on the level of Mariah's best. Beyonce's best is not, her best hit is not where Whitney's best hit is bigger than Beyonce's best hit. Hands down.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at that because
go ahead. I will always love you.
I can't look at it right now live.
That's all right. I will always love you is the biggest, probably the biggest hit Whitney Houston had in the 30-year span that we're talking about. Beyonce ain't had a hit like that, dude.
That's
not that Beyonce has not had hits, but Beyonce ain't had hits like that.
That sounds.
I mean, I'm just telling you.
That sounds extremely off to me, bro. Is what I'm telling you. Because Beyonce's had countless freaking smash hits that have been on the charts for a minute. So right now I'm not putting up the list because I'm having to multitask to make sure I get.
That's all right, but you got to understand, dude. Mariah was up against Whitney. She was up against Janet. She was up against a lot of other acts that were of a higher caliber than what's out now, or what's out during Beyonce's best. Beyonce's always been going one-on-one with Rihanna, but that's it. Oh my bad. I was wrong about the solo album. I was wrong about that.
I figured, but I won't go and correct you right now because I'm typing.
No, I see it right there. I was wrong about that. But Beyonce, but Aaliyah was like the top dog at the time, and Beyonce filled that void that Aaliyah, because Aaliyah was ascending. We forget Aaliyah was like, she was ascending at the time.
She was definitely a cultural icon. There's no question about it.
What I'm saying is Mariah was a global icon on such a phenomenal level. She was actually, at least in my opinion, she was a bigger global icon than Whitney. Like Whitney's over Mariah because Mariah was influenced by Whitney, and her impact on Black culture is greater than Mariah's.
Who is this? Who?
Whitney. Whitney's impact on Black culture was bigger than Mariah's. But Mariah was the bigger star. She was absolutely the bigger star. Whitney was actually like, I believe, if I recall, I might be wrong, but I believe there was friction between the two of them because I think they were competing with each other. And Mariah was having substantial success. She was going diamond, dude. Not many people go diamond. I don't think Beyonce's gone diamond yet.
I'm definitely, see, that's what I'm saying. You
Actually,
keep saying
if I'm not mistaken, right. She went diamond twice.
I really, hold on.
Music Box went diamond and Daydream went diamond. Her Christmas album sold 8 million copies. That's like insane. And that's why you can't put Beyonce over her, dude. You can't. Now we can argue about Sade and Beyonce. That's fine. Like my wife and I argue about Beyonce and Sade. But you can't not have Mariah Carey on your list.
How many? All right. So how many?
I'm only talking U.S. sales, by the way.
How many albums did you say? How many copies did you say Mariah sold?
I'm only talking U.S. sales. U.S. sales. So I'm not even talking global. U.S. in the U.S. alone, her first album went 9-time platinum. Her second album went 4. Music Box went 10. Her Christmas album went 8. Daydream went diamond in the U.S. alone.
Okay, but you said 8 million copies
for Christmas.
Yeah, okay, but that's the total, right?
Yeah, no, not total for all the albums. I mean, I'm not gonna count.
No, all right. So hold on, I can screen share this. I think. Hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second.
You gonna show me Beyonce?
Yep. Give me 1 second.
I mean, has Beyonce gone diamond? That's my question.
I don't know what diamond is, so
diamond is 10 million copies of an album sold.
10 million? Yes.
10 million.
Has. Yes.
Which one?
I'm closing it now.
I'll gladly look.
You see Dangerously in Love right there with 11 million copies?
That's a Destiny's Child song, dude.
Dangerously in Love?
Is a Destiny's Child song.
What does that have to do with the fact that? Okay,
I mean,
so it doesn't count because she was in the group.
I'm just saying, like it's a destiny.
I'm asking. Are you saying it doesn't count?
So Dangerously in Love, yes, went 11 million copies. Has she done that since?
B-Day went 8 million, right?
Yes. Okay.
All right. I'm just saying. You see you're saying like she.
Time out. Hold on. Is that global or is that in the U.S.?
I typed in U.S. You see it says Beyonce best U.S. selling album. You see it says that, right?
Hold on.
So the only point I'm making is
Okay, here we go. I got it. Because I don't know what you're looking at. Worldwide, yes, 11 million, but in the US, 5.1.
And you're saying Mariah's did 11, did what, 10 in the US alone?
It went, yes. In the US alone, dude.
So what did it do in the world?
I mean, I can look it up for you if you want. If you give me 1 second, I'll gladly look it up for you.
So, but like I said, and like Dana just said, I'm posting the caption now. Hits versus influential are two different things.
Her first album worldwide went 15 million, dude.
Okay,
Music Box went 28 million copies sold.
But you also already gave the caveat that the game is different completely now.
I said that.
But okay, so you're giving me enough, but
Morgan,
you've already diminished your own numbers. Is my
Morgan,
point.
Listen to me though. Listen, I'm not diminishing it. I explained that yes, it's different. People aren't buying albums like they used to. All right, but you said that like Beyonce. Time out. Listen. You said that Beyonce, that Mariah was never on Beyonce's level, and I'm saying
wait, let me make sure I correct that first. I said she's never been on Beyonce's level in all the ways that Beyonce is. You keep talking about sales. I mean, you keep talking about sales, and the sales already been you've already cut your own argument with the sales thing because we know for a fact that people don't go buy albums. So of course she's going to be ahead of her like that because people stream.
Okay,
so that's fine. Lemonade would smash her. If it was just about album, if we went for streams for the Lemonade album versus streams,
not US though, not US.
It doesn't. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter. The reason that those numbers are skewed, as you said, is because people do not go out and buy albums, and it's not been that way for a while. Streaming has been a thing for how many years now?
I understand what you're saying, Morgan.
Okay, so your biggest argument for Mariah is her sales, and you've already said those.
That's not my biggest argument. That's not
it is.
My biggest argument is that Beyonce is literally following in the footsteps of Mariah. But Mariah was probably the biggest female star, like total biggest female star in the world.
Nah.
When she was competing with Janet, Whitney, and a few other people, Mary J. Blige.
I don't believe Mariah was a bigger star than Janet Jackson, bro.
What'd you say?
I don't believe Mariah Carey was the biggest star.
At one point, she was the biggest star in the world, dude. At one point, she was literally the biggest star in the world.
Based on what? I don't agree with it.
Here's the thing, though. You have to give me a metric that I can compare sales to, because sales is the metric that we used in that time. Now, if you want to use streaming is different, because streaming is a lot like you got to like an album back in the day. You got to want to get that album because you got to get in your car and you got to go get it back in the day. Now you could just, or I want to listen to this. So there's a lot of dudes that are streaming a lot. There's a lot of dudes that are streaming a lot.
But you can't try to diminish.
You got to give me something that can compare to that, because it's different. It's like you said, it's a different time. And you're not accounting for the fact that back then people are crying when they see celebrities. Yes. But you have to look at the fact that her songs are still played now, dude. Still played now.
Mary J's. That's the point I made earlier about Mary J.
I didn't say Mary J. Black. Mary J. is on my list, but Mary J. was nowhere near Mariah Carey, dude.
Not on sales. That's what I'm saying.
He was nowhere near
everything that you're breaking down comes down to sales, and we already disagree, because you said Mariah Carey at one point was like the top star in the world, and I don't agree with that. I don't think she was ever a bigger icon than Janet Jackson was at any point in her career. She was an awesome singer and people bought her album, but a bigger icon.
What metric would you like me to provide to you that you believe will convince you otherwise? Do you want to look at concert sales? Do you want to look at how many songs she's had on the? I mean, we could look at top 10 songs. She ain't had as many top 10 songs as Beyonce. Beyonce ain't had as many top 10 songs as Mariah. Mary J. Blige ain't had as many top 10 songs as Mariah. You can look. They pointed it out here. Beyonce has had 10. Mariah has had 18. Number one overall.
Okay, fine. But again, okay. So that's what I'm saying. We can go numbers for numbers all day long, right? Because like I said, every time you bring that up, I can say every time Mariah has 5 Grammys. Beyonce has 25.
And I'm saying to you that it is number one, it is a different time with different competition.
And we can continue to say that over and over again about all of the points. Is my point. That you keep bringing it up and saying it's a different time when it's my point. But when I turn that around to you, you say, "Well, this." Do you think
Beyonce is a bigger icon than Janet Jackson?
I can't say that only because Janet Jackson is already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't think Beyonce is yet. But I think
Beyonce over her though.
But I explained why. That's what I'm saying. You keep going back to one point. You'll go to one point.
I asked you a question.
This list is about influence, and influence has 4 or 5 things that feed into it.
Listen. If somebody is considered an icon, right? If you're considered
an icon, though, I'm
not saying that she's a timeout,
right,
dude. You keep thinking I'm trying to bring Beyonce down, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm saying that Janet was an icon, right? Janet was an icon. I ask you, if Beyonce was a greater icon than Janet, do you think Beyonce is a greater icon than Janet Jackson? And you could not answer that question. You don't think so? She's in Hall of Fame.
No, I said Janet Jackson is always in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I also believe, obviously Janet Jackson, I think, is 52. Beyonce's, I think she's my age. I think she's 37. So she still has some time. She still got 15 years left to fill, right?
I'm okay with that.
But my point is,
she ain't there yet.
But all I'm saying is that's one aspect of this entire apple of what goes into influence. But there are other places that Mariah definitely can't compare to Beyonce at all, and there's no point in having a conversation.
Give me 3 places she can't compare with her.
I just told on impact on the culture, it's not close. On impact for Black people, it's still not close.
When you say impact for the culture, what do you mean?
Impact for the influence on dress.
That's not true. Not true. But go ahead.
You know what? I'll surmise the culture to be impact on let's say social justice issues, just issues dealing with anything that's dealing with Black people, their struggle, standing with or for Black people, charity towards it, anything like that.
Okay.
I don't know of anything that Mariah Carey has done in her career.
So Mariah Carey is not as much into social justice. Okay, cool.
Not at all.
Okay, cool. Close. I said 3, but you said
that's 1. 2, performance-wise, Beyonce. There's no way that anybody would pick Mariah Carey over Beyonce to go to a concert and see them perform. As far as who's the better performer.
But can I say this? Though? Can I say this? Beyonce does a lot. She dancing, she doing all that. But people were shelling out hundreds of dollars to just watch Mariah stand there and sing.
Okay. People sell $100 to go see a whole bunch of people sing. Literally.
Yeah, but they ain't doing it like they did Mariah though.
Oh my God.
And Dana is asking. Dana, you're asking what I'm using to define influential. Influential for me is, did people see that person and were they inspired and influenced to mimic that person and do what they did and just take it to another level? And when you look at the artists that I have on my top 5, Janet, Whitney, Mariah, Mary, and Sade, there are literally generations of singers, male and female, that have watched them, studied them, and taken what they did, and some have taken it to another level, some just copied straight out. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about social justice influence, because honestly, that doesn't matter to me when I'm talking about influential, because
that's good to know.
Hold on, real talk. We weren't talking about social justice when we talked about the top 5 influential African American actors. We didn't talk about that at all. That was not a part of the metric that we use. Well, we talked about it. We talked about who were other actors looking to, and that's why I'm using.
That was one aspect. That was one aspect.
You did not bring up social justice. We have tape.
Well, are you? Yes, I did.
When it comes to actors,
people go back, go to YouTube, because that's where the other episodes are held. You can go to YouTube and watch episode 3 when we talked about actors and see whether or not there were not multiple factors that were influenced in how influence goes out for the actors and what they did. That was the point that Danny was making for Tyler Perry, and I said yes, that's absolutely correct. The biggest problem I have with Tyler Perry is that he's at number 1.
You agreed that he was looking at things mostly from a director and from a writer and from a producer perspective.
Yes, because he left out the acting part.
What?
And he left out the acting part.
Right, and you agreed that wasn't part of the criteria. You agreed on that.
No, I didn't. I did not agree that it's not a part of the criteria. I said
Mariah was never on and off. Mariah was dominant. Emancipation of Mimi, EME, that was like 2007, 2008. Bro. Like she was dominant literally for an entire.
She dominated the 90s. She was doing her thing into the 2000s when she was teaming up with Diddy and she had some 90s, dude. She had some
okay. So
the 2000s weren't.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like you're part of the Bay Hive, man, and I.
No, this ain't about the Bay Hive. It is
though. You're biased.
You told me to give you 3 places where Mariah cannot compare to Beyonce.
And you only gave me 1.
I gave you 2.
Not even.
I gave you 2. I gave you 2. I said a performance. I'll put a poll in the group after this and ask people performance-wise, who would you rather go see at a concert, Beyonce or Mariah Carey? I'll put it in the poll right after this. Matter of fact, I can put it.
Are we talking about Mariah in her prime?
I don't care. We can poke both of them in their prime. If you're going to a concert,
Beyonce is a better dancer than her. Okay, but
I said perform. Period.
She's not a better performer than Janet.
Who's not?
Beyonce. She ain't a better performer.
She's on par.
Janet at her.
She's absolutely on par with Janet Jackson.
So let me get this straight.
And Beyonce sings better than Janet Jackson.
So let me get this straight.
Don't do that.
She don't sing better than Mariah.
So you just gonna flip flop between the two?
Mariah, well, because she's a child of them.
You keep saying that child of them thing. You should really let that go, because I told you.
Why am I letting it go?
Because how many times do I have to go back to that? Okay, so there are other running backs.
Oh my god! All right, I gotta go.
Hey, listen,
I'll let the people talk. I'll let the people go. Listen, I have no problem with Beyonce. If she was talking, if we were talking like top 10, she would be 6. Rihanna would be 7. But there is no Beyonce. There is no Beyonce without those 5 women before her. No Beyonce without her. Beyonce tried.
And we can say the same for those women.
Time out. She's influenced by Janet's dancing. She's influenced by Whitney and Mariah's singing.
Did she take it to a different level?
She does the hip hop, the little hip hop flair that Mary J. Blige was doing first.
Did she take it to another level?
I didn't say she didn't. She modernized.
Okay. Well, that was a part of your factor before. So it still goes back to this.
Success-wise, she's not more successful than Mariah. So how am I going to put her over to Mariah? She is no way, shape, form, or fashion more successful than Mariah.
Give me 1 second.
But I got to head out. I'm interested to see what the people say.
All right, Mariah's net worth as it stands right now is $320 million. You want me to look up Beyonce's?
Yeah, her married to her billionaire husband. All right.
No. I said her, just her money.
Peace out, folks. It's been real.
I'll see y'all next week.
I love you.
I don't know if we're gonna circle back to this or not, but I don't know what we're gonna do next. I'll announce it in the group. If y'all haven't already joined the group, join Top 5 Live Nation on Facebook so you can participate in the poll. We want y'all to vote on who had the best top 5. I put it in the poll. I put it in the group page for you to be able to see who had what top 5. I want y'all to vote. If you're not already a member of the group, make sure you join. If you're not already on the fan page, make sure you join.
To fight with that. We can't do most influential male singers. We get
that. Hey, we could do that. I mean, look,
we'll talk about that.
Matter of fact, y'all go to the group page and make some suggestions of what y'all want us to discuss next. We'll do that next Tuesday. Y'all put it in there. I'll put a poll in there based on what I see in there, and then we'll go with that. All right. Love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all listening in. We'll see y'all next week.